get a lot of questions about my stack. So we're going to go over my current performance stack to help me with recomposition, help me with muscle building, help me with fat loss, and overall health, right? So nothing in this stack is random. Every compound that I use serves a purpose, whether it's cellular energy, fat loss signaling, muscle preservation, or even just performance amplification. I'm not about taking shortcuts, right? This is about controlling my biology, controlling my body, giving it what it needs. So the first ones that I want to talk about is when I'm trying to improve my mitochondrial and my cellular energy, right? Because I want to go from the inside out. So I take a peptide called MOTS-c. I take this 3 times a week. And this is a mitochondrial signaling peptide that improves glucose uptake into the muscle, right? And it increases fat oxidation. So I can get more stuff into my muscle, I can increase my fat burning, and it also enhances my metabolic flexibility. It literally teaches my body to burn fuel efficiently, especially when carbs are involved, driving that energy into the muscle instead of storing it in fat. If you're thinking about something other than a GLP, MOTS-c would be one that I would look into. The other one I also take is SS31. I take this one also 3 times a week. This works directly inside the mitochondria to help improve ATP production. That's our energy, right? And it reduces oxidative stress. That's what we want, less inflammation. So if MOTS-c is the signal, SS31 fixes the engine. And together they increase usable cellular energy, they improve my endurance tremendously, and they accelerate recovery without stimulants, right? So we don't have to get the crash from those stimulants, those highs, then lows. This is clean energy at the cellular level. So that's from the inside. So now let's talk about helping me lose some fat, which I've lost some fat over the last couple of years. One of them is through appetite control, right? So I do take a peptide called retatrutide. I take this 2 times a week. It's a triple agonist metabolic peptide that improves insulin sensitivity, which is what we all want to do. The better our insulin sensitivity, the less inflammation we have. This also increases our fat oxidation, and it suppresses the appetite, a lot like MOTS-c. This allows fat loss without starving while still eating enough protein and carbs to preserve our muscle. This was the problem with some of the other GLPs, right? You couldn't eat. You couldn't get the protein in. With retatrutide, you can. I also take tesofensine. I take this 2 times a week, and this is a central appetite and dopamine regulator. I use it strategically, though. It does control my hunger and the food noise while maintaining motivation and training. So I use these on days where in between my retatrutide to help the appetite. But it also gives me a good dopamine rise, so I actually feel good. I want to get in there and want to train hard. So for my pre-workout and my metabolic performance, I use an oral peptide called 5-amino-1-MQ, right? So this is an NMNT inhibitor. Now what NMNT does is it actually eats up our NAD. So it enhances fat loss signaling. It improves our NAD plus availability because we're not eating it up anymore. And it supports lean mass retention so I can keep my muscle. It helps the body prefer fat as a fuel while still utilizing carbs effectively, right? So I literally can turn my body into a fat burning machine. I also use Sloop 332. It's a mitochondrial endurance and energy expenditure compound that it increases fat oxidation. Again, so I'm releasing that fat to use as energy, going to burn it off, and muscular endurance, turning training into a fat burning event while I don't have to sacrifice any of my strength. The next thing that I do use, which I didn't bring out here, but I also use tadalafil, 20 milligrams, right? I don't use it for the PP fellas, all right? I don't need it there, but it does improve blood flow, nutrients delivery, and mad pumps. Also endurance and recovery. Better circulation means better performance and better muscle growth. If I can get more nutrients into my muscles, if I can get more blood flow into my muscles, I can get better growth. Now from the hormonal side, right? I'm 50 plus years old. I am on TRT. I take this 3 times a week. This is the anabolic backbone though. The TRT helps me support my protein synthesis. It helps with my recovery. It helps with sleep. It helps with fat loss. It does help with strength, and it does help with consistent energy. This is about hormonal stability, not abuse, right? I'm not abusing anything. It's about getting my hormones optimized. Now for my nutrition, I won't go too much into the nutrition, right? But, I do aim for 1.5 grams of protein per day, right? That's essential for basically repairing the muscles that we're breaking down. It helps with the lean mass preservation, and it also helps me feel full, right? So the fuller I feel, the less I eat. We're working in that good direction. As far as carbs go, I'm not afraid of carbs. Carbs fuel performance. They drive insulin into the muscle and they support thyroid function, which this also enhances our fullness. So my carbs plus my peptides, man, really it equals superior nutrition partitioning. So you can use these all together. You can eat those carbs. You don't have to be afraid of carbs. You don't have to be on a keto diet. You don't have to starve yourself from no potatoes, or, you just got to be logical about this. All right. So now for my muscle enhancers, my epicactin, right here. This helps reduce, it's basically a myostatin inhibitor. It helps reduce the myostatin, which puts a cap on our muscle growth. This improves our muscle density, endurance, and recovery. It's going to allow the muscle to actually grow bigger than it can, right? And then we have arachidonic acid, if I'm saying it right. This enhances the hypertrophy signal by amplifying controlled post-training inflammation, driving strength and muscle. Basically what this does, this signals your muscles that they have been inflamed. So when we get something that's inflamed, we got to go over there and we got to repair it. So it makes the muscles think that they're inflamed, it makes that there's some damage. It goes over there and it actually starts the repair process. And then as far as my regular pre-workouts, I also take some of these other things right here, Laxaball and Shreds. But I take regular pre-workouts for my pumps and my focus and stuff like that. I didn't bring those out here. I just wanted to talk about the peptides that I'm taking on. So for the big picture, guys, my stack is designed to burn fat without losing muscle, right? I don't want to go blind. I don't want to have the Ozempic face, all that. Burn fat without losing muscle to increase real cellular energy, right? I want energy from the inside. Improve my training performance and enhance recovery. And also control my appetite, but allow me to eat. So none of this is random. The system is based upon my biology and how I can best optimize it. All right, so that is my stacks. I've got my peptides, oral peptides, and then that's what I'm taking right now currently. So just as a disclaimer, the content in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm not telling you to use any of these things. I'm just telling you what I use and how I have researched them. Peptides and research compounds are not FDA approved for human use, so always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before beginning any supplement or hormone. All right, guys, that's what it is. I get a lot of questions about it. Again, I'll go over them. MOTS-c SS31, 5-amino 1MQ, Sloop 332. Look them up. These other ones you can find just about anywhere else. And so I appreciate y'all checking it out. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments.